Is my screen visible?
Yes, you are visible.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Subramaniam, shall we begin? Dr. Dinesh, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining our WeCare session here today. We're very happy to collaborate with Atulya Senior Care for this session. And as you know, Atulya is our partner, senior care living partner. And we have circulated a number of emails and WhatsApps regarding the benefits of partnering with Atulya. But today we have a session where we are bringing awareness to office workstation ergonomics. So I'm going to request Dr. Subramaniam, our Vice President of the Alumni Association, please do the introduction.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Today's biggest workplace hazard isn't stress or deadlines. It's our own neck, slowly bending in respect of smartphones. Can you tell me anyone who is not respecting the mobile phone with a bent neck? No one. Having worked in Japan, I have seen Japanese people bow gracefully as a mark of respect while greeting. I'm sure, many of you would have seen how Japanese people, when they meet, how do they greet? They bow back, bend back, and then give a greeting. That is the practice as we do namaskaram. Ironically, today, many of us seem to be bowing continuously, whereas Japanese people, only when they are greeting for a second or so, they will be bending their neck, bowing their neck, bending their back. But today, everybody around the world, whether it is IITM alumni or anybody else, they are all on laptops or mobile phones, bowing their head and bending their neck all the time. I will start with a small story before I hand it over to hand over my session to Dr. Dinesh. A professional IITM alumni once visited a doctor complaining of neck pain. The doctor asked, "What do you do at work?" He replied, "I work on a laptop all day." The doctor asked, "How many hours?" "Sir, only 8 hours." Then the doctor asked, "What do you do with the remaining 16 hours?" "Only 4 hours I sleep. The remaining 12 hours I am with the WhatsApp or Facebook or etc., social media." So the doctor said, instant diagnosis. What is that instant diagnosis? A classic case of tech neck. The funny part is almost every one of us smile at this story, but we do realize that we are all the patient. And that is exactly our today's session is so relevant for all of us. On behalf of the IIT Madras Alumni Association, I warmly welcome Dr. Dinesh and all of you on this awareness program, awareness on the preventive care session of the neck as well as the spine portion. At IITMAA, we believe alumni engagement goes beyond professional networking. Caring for the health and well-being of our alumni community is equally important. As part of this commitment, IITMAA regularly organizes wellness initiatives, and today's program is one such initiative arranged for the benefit of our alumni. In today's digital-first work culture, prolonged screen time and poor posture have led to issues such as tech neck, back pain, and long-term spinal stress, often without early warning signs. This session focuses on awareness, early identification, and simple practical preventive measures for maintaining spinal health. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker of the day, Dr. Dinesh Chandar and Yappan, consultant in orthopedics and rehabilitation at Atulya Senior Care. He holds an MBBS from Vinayaka Mission Medical College and an MS in orthopedics from Pondicherry Institute of Medical Sciences, with clinical training and experience at premier institutions including Christian Medical College, Vellore, MIOT International, and other leading hospitals. Dr. Dinesh brings specialized expertise in trauma management, joint replacement, arthroscopy, deformity correction, and geriatric rehabilitation, hand surgery, bone oncology, and physical rehabilitation. With this extensive experience in posture-related disorders, workplace ergonomics, and spinal wellness, we are fortunate to have Dr. Dinesh here today. Participants can expect insights into common posture mistakes, early signs of spinal stress, and simple exercises and habits that can be easily adopted in daily life. We will also have a Q&A session at the end, so please feel free to post your questions during the session. Dr. Dinesh would answer to you. With that introduction, I invite Dr. Dinesh to begin Over to you, sir, Dr. Dinesh.
Thank you, Dr. Subramaniam, for the great speech. And yes, as you rightly said, many of them using their phones has become one of the biggest epidemic currently. And it's also a major shift in the orthopedic practice, where the problems which we used to commonly see in our books or even our practice 10 years ago, where we used to see neck problems and spine problems in 50s to 60 years old, has become a problem of the 30s and 40s right now. And that is mainly, primarily only because of uh, technology. So I feel that technology and lifestyle has played a major role in causing issues to the spine, especially to the neck more than any other part of the spine, because of extreme phone usage, posture imbalances. At the same time, because of uh, social media being an addiction to many of them, where they still don't understand that they are going through this addiction, and many of them come with similar problems, especially from work from home is as a culture when it started during COVID. There's a lot of people whose lifestyle itself has been completely changed. Like most of the patients that I see who come with neck issues in their 30s and 40s, the usual thing what they say is, I wake up at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. I sit in front of my laptop at 9 o'clock. I wake up at night, 9 in the night. I have a dinner and I go to sleep. And during the sleep, they are usually using their phone at least 3 to 4 hours a day. They're in front of laptop for 12 hours. So at least 15 to 16 hours of technology out of 24 hours is a huge, it's creating a lot of issues and it's a huge problem in the current society. Hello, I'm Dr. Dinesh Chandra Andiyappan. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I work and I'm heading the Department of Rehabilitation and Physiotherapy at Atulya Senior Care. So as I said, the rising, most common and the rising, epidemic. Sorry, screen just got changed. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible right now?
Yes, it's visible. It's visible.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay, fine. All right. So the rising epidemic, as we see currently, is a global posture crisis. What we are seeing right now is that how the digital world is completely changing our body. And as you said, about 65% of desk workers have been suffering with musculoskeletal issues, neck and back pain. And these are the most common complaints which we are seeing. And beyond that, there are also a lot of people coming with early muscle damage, as is sarcopenia, because of inactive lifestyle. As we know that wherever we go, right, earlier, about 15, 20 years back, we used to walk and go outside. We used to probably run and go to catch a bus or even catch a train. But now with modern technology and everything available at our doorsteps, including groceries and vehicles, even transportation, the amount of physical activity has really reduced. And this is also one of the major contributors towards spine and muscular health issues. The major age gap, as I was speaking earlier, is that young adults, almost 67% of people are coming with tech neck. That's like a forward head posture, compared to only 25% in older adults. So this major shift has been happening in the past 14 to 15 years because of early adoption of devices, as in phones or laptops. Poor posture is also linked, about 66% of them are linked towards uh, worker loss. So like, usually because of fatigue, decreased concentration and pain. And usually when people come with technique, they also present with a lot of radiculopathy pain, as in nerve pain. Nerve pains are classified. I mean, when you speak to the patients, you compare the patients when they ask them like, okay, they compare to fracture pain and to a nerve pain. A nerve pain is more severe because it's continuous and it's very debilitating. And the actual also makes them feel very depressed on when they have been suffering for nerve pains for more than 1 or 2 months, which also causes a lot of lifestyle changes. They also get very angry at work. A lot of productivity issues also especially when you suffer with cervical problems. So what is technique? So this term was not even in our textbooks. So we recently, because of all the new gadgets and newer problems that we are coming, technological neck is something which is a much more newer term, uh, which was not there. We used to have something called cervical spondylitis, which is the most commonly used name, and everybody would have heard about that condition. But tech neck can also be uh, said as text neck. So because of continuous phone usage, text neck is also another term of this, where a human head is like a bowling ball. It weighs heavy, and what happens the moment you start tilting it forward, the amount of stress that goes through your spine is a lot. When it's a zero tilt, as in it's a neutral position, it's about 4.5 to 5 kgs of weight. But when you tilt forward, it increases up to 12 to 15 kgs of weight, or 27, or 20 or 27 pounds. But when you look at a phone, you almost tilt around 50 to 60 degrees. By doing this, you are increasing the weight on your neck by around 60 pounds. So that is very, very stressful. That is almost equivalent to keeping an 8-year-old child sitting on your neck for about 2 to 3 hours. So that is the amount of strain that your neck goes through the moment you keep on looking at your phone. So the long-term effects because of this is a hunched upper back. Very commonly seen now is pinched nerves. So you can, when you have been suffering with this for a long time, or when it can also happen on a sudden basis, you have severe pain that goes across from your neck all the way to your arms or to your fingers also. So this kind of nerve radiculopathy pain is one of the most common symptoms when they come and see a doctor. They don't really notice the neck stiffness or the hunch. But this is one reason why many of them come and visit either a physiotherapist or a surgeon or doctor. Degeneration is also one of the major problems. So, as earlier we could see disc degeneration happening at the age of 55 to 60. But now disc degenerations are happening much more earlier, and they are not affecting only one disc, but it is actually affecting multiple discs. We are seeing at least 3 to 4 discs affecting on a long-term basis. When you see thoracic deformity, postural hypokyphosis is also very common.
Hi, sir. Can you make
Sorry,
the
hello?
presentation mode? No, the slides are not moving.
Oh, slides are not moving.
Yeah.
It's me. It's moving over here for me. 1 second. Now is it
Yeah.
fine?
Yeah,
Now,
now.
yes.
Okay. Now is it moving?
No, sir.
It's the same slide?
Yeah.
Now?
No.
Okay. I think I have to keep exiting and now is it changing?
I think
No.
you have to do manually. Once you complete one slide, you move.
Okay. Is this fine now?
No, it's not moving.
One second. I'll just reshare it again. I'll just share my desktop screen. I think that should be fine. Yeah. Is it fine now?
Yeah. Yeah, it's moving.
Now
You
is
are on that
now it's
lumbar deformity?
yes. I'll just go back to my thoracic deformity now.
Yeah, thoracic deformity.
Okay, fine. So what we are seeing right now is even for after the neck issues, the next most commonly affected is the thoracic spine, where we are seeing a lot of postural kyphosis, that is chronic forward flexion, which increases a lot of stress on the ligaments and on the vertebral bodies in the front. There's also a lot of people who suffer with muscle imbalance. So usually it's called development of an upper cross syndrome, where you can see the shortening of your pectoral muscles and your trapezius. At the same time, there is also a lot of flexure and flexion muscles are also getting infected a lot. Most commonly, they also have a lot of structural increase in thoracic convexity. That means the Cobb's angle. That's what we see on an X-ray, where the angle is increased a lot. You can also see scapular winging, where the scapular area is being more prominent because of muscle wasting and because of muscle loss also. And usually these damages in the kyphosis of the thoracic bone is most commonly seen and been diagnosed with X-rays when you can catch an initial stage. The next is a lumbar strain. So lumbar deformities. The most commonly affected for long-term sitting and long-term at a desk job is flat back syndrome and discogenic strains. So these are two most common deformities we see in the lumbar spine. What you can see usually because of sedentary work style, because of incorrect posture of the chair, or even posture while sitting and stooping forward, uh, they start seeing a lot of the back starts getting more flatter. If you see a spine, it is actually in an S shape. The cervical to the thoracic and the lumbar is S-shaped, but the moment you start seeing people who come with back pain, especially due to working and sitting for long jobs and sitting and having very poor activity levels, we see a complete flat back. So the whole structure of the bone uh, starts getting deranged a lot. Because of that, many of them have disc problems. So because the load on the spine starts getting affected, the disc pressure, especially in the lower lumbar level, that is the L4 and the L5 level, starts getting affected a lot. And that's why you start seeing a lot of people having disc issues or even severe nerve compression. Uh, when you can see them, they also have a lot of muscle weakness, usually in the gluteal region, iliopsoas muscles, rectus femoris muscles, all starts getting affected a lot more. And just to not to suffer with the imbalance, they actually lean forward a lot. And because of that, as they keep getting older, they start having balance issues and also having gait problems and have a higher chance of having falls. So how does this affect economically and personally? So this actually affects a lot of people, and many of the offices right now, or even corporates, are being implementing this back and neck issues. They are taking a lot of initiatives towards, uh, trying to find out the issue and trying to reduce that. But still, it's not enough because many of them do come and they say that they have been worked for 8 to 12 hours continuously. The moment they get out of their seats, they are being questioned by their bosses or by their managers. So this is actually putting a lot of drain financially, and it also causes a lot of absentees at work, and which also suffers, to them either work-wise or on their personal basis, or it can also medically increase the cost on a regular basis. But the most common problem is mentally. So mentally, many of them are being affected by chronic pains. They don't have the amount of lifestyle that they have because of chronic pains. They have a lot of stress. Morale is also reduced, and job satisfaction is the biggest problem that many people face through. So I'm just going to go through four different parts. There are four most common things when you're sitting in a desk job is your chair, is your keyboard and mouse, your monitor, the height, length of your monitor, where it is, and your surrounding environment. So these are four things that are very common, which has to be checked to reduce the amount of pressure on your spine. So the chair is the throne of your body. So the moment you sit over there, your chair is the one which takes, which can, as in give you that amount of pleasure. At the same time, can also affect your body. So choosing the right chair is the most important part of your whole posture correction. Uh, Best practices for selecting a chair is mainly depends on each individual. So good lumbar support is very important. We usually suggest a five leg casters, or you can also have a static four leg chairs, which is also very important. So we look at five different things when it comes to a chair. So the seat height, the seat back, the depth, the tilt, and the armrest position. So we always think that chairs are something which cannot be, it's just a chair, but the chair is actually one of the most important things. So when we say about chair height, the seat height, you should always make sure that your feet is flat on the floor and it's not either dangling too much or you're not flexing your knee just to support where it's too low. The knee should be bent at a 90-degree angle or greater, but not usually more straighter. Your thighs are supposed to be horizontal along to the floor. So this is the best way to sit and to adjust the height. So every time you sit, you have to make sure this is as a best practice which has to be followed. The seat tilt. Normally, people, especially when they sit in straight chairs, they are very common to stoop forward. So always make sure that your seat back is at right angle, as a 90-degree angle, or a little bit more back. So 90 to 100 is ideally the best way to keep your back straight and to reduce the stress on your lumbar spine. Sorry. Also, the lumbar curvature is very important. So as you see, in most of the chairs recently, they do have a proper lumbar curvature. You also have each person can have a little bit of increase in the lumbar curvature. So it can be adjusted as an individual person. It depends on what your chair is and how the curvature is. Usually people who don't like these curved chairs can also use a small pillow right between your thoracic and your lumbar spine so that you get that curvature if you're sitting in a straight chair. The other thing is when you have a depth. So many of them sit very close to the chair. So when your knees are very, very close and it's very close to the chair, at the edge of the chair, you can also compress the veins and the nerves behind your knees. That's why when you see many people, when they sit for a long time and then when they get up, they can get a bit of catch behind their knees. So at least having 1 to 4 inches of space between the seat, edge of the seat and the knee is very important so that you also have some space to bend your knee and also to reduce the stress over it. The next is your keyboard and your mouse. Uh, the keyboard height is something that is very important to reduce the stress on your wrist and your arms. And we also be looking at how much of distance to keep between your keyboard and the user, the neutral hand postures, mouse height, and the mouse to user distance. So keyboard and mouse height is something that's very important. Why? That's because one is the angle. So the moment you rest your angle, your hand or your arms towards the keyboard, you need to rest it on the arm with at least 90 to 105 degrees of angle. The more you go forward, there is more chance of compressing your elbow nerves, and also starts causing stress around your shoulder. The distance between your keyboard, between you and your keyboard should allow you to relax your shoulders. So your elbows should hang close to the body and not way too away from your body. The most common problems that we start seeing with people is carpal tunnel issues. So that's the reason why your wrist is also very important the moment you keep your hand. Because though we keep our shoulders and your elbow straight, the wrist takes a lot of stress, especially when you use your mouse, especially in a keypad in a laptop. So always adjust your height, adjust your hand posture also, and always keep it neutral. So it's in more straight lines rather than bending your wrist because carpal tunnel syndrome is also one of the most common issues we are seeing right now, beyond our cervical and the shoulder problems. And the neutral hand posture is something that's very important. Many people think that keeping a pillow under your arm or just to elevate it can actually help you a bit. But keeping something hard or with a little bit of softer surface area is fine. But the moment you keep something too soft or too hard, can actually put a lot of stress around your wrist and cause wrist pain and more of thumb pain also. Mouse position, as I said, it has to be right next to a keyboard. Either you're a right-handed or left-handed person, right next to a keyboard in the green zone area is more than enough. The moment you keep it too far or too close, you start flexing your elbows, start straining your shoulder joint also. Next is your monitor. So this is the second most. So the chair I feel is the most important thing, but the monitor is another problem where you start causing a lot of neck issues and posture problems. So we'll be looking at what is the best monitor height, monitor to user distance, the alignment, the visual comfort of screen, and each and every personal factors as in corrective lenses or eyewear, which can also affect. So the best practice for monitor height is to make sure that it falls at the top level. So you always make sure you look at the top of your monitor and it's about 2 to 3 inches between that level. If you're wearing an eyewear and if you have a bit of difficulty, a little bit of adjustment is advisable. The monitor screen should be at least 16 to 28 inches from your eye so that you don't get a lot of glare from there, which can also cause a lot of headaches, a lot of eye issues. And if you are wearing a corrective lenses, it can be adjusted a bit accordingly. Many of them have this habit of keeping their monitor either on the left or the right side. So that is something which actually affects a lot more, even more than your poor chair or poor monitor position, because the moment you keep your neck tilted towards one side, it starts causing a lot of cervical issues, muscle stiffness also. So always make sure your monitor is directly in front of you to reduce the stress on your neck. Something which we usually don't look out much is for natural light. Many of them don't really consider that as a part of it, but that is something that's very important to make sure that your monitor is has good amount of light coming through. Something from the back or the front is usually has to be avoided. It's natural to get a light. So if you have a window which is on your left side towards your right side, it's actually more easier because it reduces the glare. At the same time, also gives you better comfort while sitting. Artificial light, usually from the top position or from the sides, is more than enough. Something that's shining on your eyes or reflecting off your monitor has to be avoided to reduce the stress. And your environment. So usually we suggest keeping the frequently used items more closer to reduce stress on your body, to reduce the contact of trauma. Storage cabinet areas has to be adjusted accordingly because your workstation is where you spend almost 1/3 of your time, minimum. So that is something which has to be adjusted according to your preference. But I'll try to give you a bit of short uh, brief about which will be the best options. So as you can see here, the green zone is where the most frequently used items has to be used. You can keep your pens, pencils, your regular notebooks and all in the green zone area. Yellow zone areas can be used for maybe partially used stuff. And the red ones is for things which you might never need it or you might have to get up and take it. So that will actually reduce any of these awkward positions because the moment you keep it too far away from your arm distance, you have to keep on moving forward, and that will actually cause a lot of posture issues. Contact trauma is one of the most common problems that we are seeing right now also, is because your elbow goes through a lot of stress. At the same time, your arms, your wrist. So the moment you are resting on your elbow or your arms on your table, that actually causes a lot of strain around your muscles. So avoid any contact with any sharp edges so that you are not straining your wrist on a regular basis. We suggest leg room. So if your leg room width should be at least 2 inches more than your hip width, so that you have some space around your hip joint. That's why it doesn't strain a lot of your hip muscles also. Your leg room height should be at least greater or than equal to the highest point of your thighs. So a little bit of flexion, a little bit of movement around the leg room is always advised. So there are a few things, as I said, this is just a small overview on how we can help you with your muscle issues. Uh, there are a lot of exercises that can be done. One second, I'll just get back to this. Okay. So there are few exercises that is always helpful that we suggest to be done maybe every 2 to 3 hours if you are suffering with neck pain, or maybe every 4 hours. Take out some time when you're sitting on your laptops for longer duration. So we suggest at least about 10 to 15 minutes of exercises, which probably we can start doing right now. One is stretching for your neck. So always keep your neck straight and look up and stretch your neck as much as possible. Do it on all four sides. So it either comes up, pull down, and also your left and your right. At the same time, also stretching on both the sides gradually and slowly. You can actually stretch it for up to 10 seconds on each sides. And doing this stretch reduces a lot of strain that you've been which has been happening over a few hours of your when you're sitting in front of your laptops. Other thing is rotation movements also something that will be very helpful to reduce the stress on your neck joint. The other most common exercises which can be done at your workspace is holding your hand right on your forehead and pushing it back and then pushing your head forward. So while doing this stress, what you're doing is you're strengthening your neck muscles. By doing that, you're also strengthening your spine. So people who have shorter neck can actually elongate and try to stretch their neck also at the same time. This can be done on all four sides. So you hold this and you stretch first. You hold this like this and you stretch tightly like this. The same way on the other side and same in the back. So these are small exercises which can be done to reduce a lot of stress on your neck. And I hope that I've covered most of the damages that happen during long sitting and especially in long working hours. And this is something which is very helpful for people, especially in younger age groups. And I hope this helps a lot, and we can spread the message for better spinal care and for better wellness. Thank you.
The floor is open for Q&A. If you have any doubt, any clarification, you may please. Participants can come forward. Either you can put on the chat box or you can raise your hand and ask your question.
There's a question from Kirtana. I'd like to answer. So, a question is exercises which you told us now should be done in sitting or standing posture. Sitting is the most easiest to be done. So, because many of them, especially when they're at work, they say that they can't get out of their chair and go, and that is something which can affect them. So, in that case, sitting in your same chair and doing these exercises every 3 to 4 hours, you take out 10 to 15 minutes of your time, and you can do this. If you can do it every 2 hours, it's even more better because it's only stretch exercises. And making sure that you have at least 10 minutes break from sitting in front of a laptop every 2 hours, which also reduces a lot of strain on your neck. Okay, there's another message. Sometimes when I see monitor, eye twitching happens a lot. Okay. Eye twitching is very common when you are looking at brighter screens, and especially when you can also have a bit of eye issues. So usually, if you have any kind of irritation around the eye, twitching, sometimes eye twitching can also happen because of low magnesium levels, on vitamin D levels also. So getting that evaluated also can help you with reducing the amount of twitching around your eye. There are a lot of these screen guards. Either you can keep it on your laptop or you can wear like a eyewear protector, which actually helps reducing the twitching around your eye also because of stress because of the light.
Sir, the talk was very nice. Thank you for a
Sure.
wonderful talk, and it is very helpful also. I have a small question. So the exercises that you had suggested, uh, can the people who already have some issues also do? It's not risky, or because my brother has a neck pain.
Mhm.
Is it advisable to do the same exercises as you said, or?
Yeah, so if he only has neck pain and muscle stiffness, he can do the exercises. If he also has nerve pain, so if he has a pain which starts from the neck and goes all the way to the arm or to the elbow or the shoulders, in that case, you should be meeting somebody, getting it evaluated, and then start your exercises because those exercises can increase the stress on your neck and can also cause issues. But if you only have neck stiffness, neck pain, these exercises will help you a lot. Most of the exercise which I've taught you is for people who can avoid having neck pain in the future and the stress. But if you've been having a lot of long-term neck pain, it's always better to meet somebody, get it evaluated, and then start the exercises.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. So Ganesh has asked a question saying contact trauma for elbow. What measures should I take to avoid? A very good question. So as I said, in elbow, it's very common to have nerve blockages, and it's very common also to have tennis elbow when you keep your arm at this position for a long time. So always have something protective around your elbow. Many of them have very hard hard armrests. So that can cause a lot of issues. So either you can have something softer over there. Make sure you always avoid the edges of the table because that is where a lot of people do support their arms if they don't have an armrest in the chair. So that causes a lot of damage on the elbow. So the main thing is just keep a lot of pressure soft so that you don't cause a lot of direct damage over the nerves. But other than that, make sure you keep on lifting your arm every 10 to 15 minutes. Before and after, you also have a lot of gel pads that are available where you can just apply the gel pad around your strap. That reduces the stress on your elbow. Mr. Murthy, yes, I'll definitely ask the team to share my contact with you, and you can definitely get in touch with me.
Yeah, Dr. Dinesh?
Yes, sir.
I think before we move on to the Purushottam Nair question, now, most of the exercise or the tips which you have given are relevant for the laptop and usage of laptop. And about the TechNet.
Yes, sir.
Nowadays, more than the laptop, people are using mobile phones.
Yes, sir.
So I would appreciate, if you can add on some of the specific exercise or specific care which you have to take while you are using mobile phones. I think Purushottam Nair specifically mentioning also. You can, after your explanation, you can move on to his question.
Sure. So the reason why there's not much of information on tech phones is because one is we don't use our phone on a standard posture. There are many who lie down and do it. They use it in the bathroom, they use it in the chair, they use it while they are in the car. So the posture keeps on changing. But the most common problem is forward flexion of your neck. So in that case, I always tell them is one is to keep it at eye level contact. So either you can have a small stand and use it, or when you're sitting also, make sure your hand is a bit more at an eye level contact. Maybe up to 10 to 15 degrees is fine, but not to keep it at a 60-degree position because many of them, especially people who are lying down the beds and then use their phones, they always keep it in full flexion position. That is where most of the 90% of the problems starts arising. So for that, definitely switching off your phone at least 2 to 3 hours before sleep is something that's very, very advisable. That's also better for your mental health and for for your cervical health also. So at least 2 to 3 hours before your sleep, you have to switch off your phone. Make sure it is at eye level and reduce the screen time for not more than 10 minutes at a stretch because many of us we see movies, we see Netflix, and it's a smaller screen. If you are going to look at a movie or something which for longer time, definitely switch to a bigger screen so that your eyes don't get strained. A lot of people do have a lot of mental fog, especially because they're using Instagram or Facebook. Social media it's very addictive. So every 30 minutes scrolling, that actually keeps on constantly irritate your eyes. You start having headaches, neck issues also. So these kind of changes will help a lot with phone-related neck problems, as in tech neck. So Mr. Nitin has asked, we don't know that we have bad posture ourselves. How can we rectify that? So bad posture is something that I feel many of them have it very subconsciously. It is very situational. Sometimes when you sit on a sofa, you have a tendency of lying on one side or you're sleeping on the bed on one side. So a little bit of changes every time you sit or you stand or you even lie down, you have to be very conscious about your position, especially when you're sitting. Every time it takes a lot of time and a lot of habit building once you do that. But once you start doing, it changes a lot. I personally had a spine injury about 10 years back after playing basketball. And since then, I've been very conscious about how I sit, how I move, and I make sure that every movement of mine, before I do it, I think about it and I sit. And that has become a routine habit, which has also helped a lot with my posture. And the second thing which also helps a lot is strengthening my muscles and doing yoga. And I've been doing yoga for at least 3 to 4 days, 4 times a week, and muscle strengthening and training at least 3 times a week. So that has actually helped me reduce. And also a lot of my patients also, I suggest them yoga where it helps a lot with muscle stretching and muscle building also. Chairs, I cannot recommend any great chair because everything is very personalized. There are a lot of chair options available, and many of them have a lot of different options available also. I would always suggest do not buy chairs online. Go sit on the chair, use the chair, adjust the chair according to what your position is, and whatever I've given the description, you can definitely align it and see which is the best for you. Because there are a lot of options available in the market, and there's no one specific chair for somebody. It all depends upon your height, your weight, your posture, and your spine and your muscle level also. So please go to a store and use the chair before you buy it. That's the best advice I can give you, please. That also is very
But as you say, there are lots of, sorry.
yeah, please tell me.
But as you say, there are lots of chairs are available online as well as offline.
Yeah,
And it is very difficult to identify what suits in the long run. Maybe, when,
understood.
go to a store and sit there and, you may feel comfortable, but over a prolonged usage, sometimes you find it very inconvenient. And everybody says that, this is ergonomic, but I don't know whether really ergonomic chairs are not. It's very difficult to find. That's what I think
Definitely, sir. I understand.
gentleman
I
is
pers
also.
I personally have used different types of chairs,
Oh, okay.
and the ones which I use in my clinic, because I sit here most of the time, over 6 to 7 hours a day, and even during my
Yeah.
surgery time, I have a specific chair. It took me at least 1 to 2 weeks of hunting and getting the best chair. I had to go and sit in at least 100 chairs to find out the best chair. So I feel finding the best chair is like finding your wife. Trying to going and finding the best person is always difficult, but I'm sure you can
Yeah.
get the right person. Yeah.
Sure.
Hi, doctor.
Hello.
This is Charan. I have a question. So I
Yes,
have a
sir.
problem in L4 and L5. So as you mentioned, there are some symptoms which I have seen similar on
Okay.
back and neck and lower back.
Hmm.
So should I do physical activities like which sports I can do and which sports I shouldn't do? So that's one question.
Do you have neck issues or lumbar spine issue?
I have a neck pain that you said
Okay.
right? There is something a nerve compression
No
issue.
block is there. Okay.
Yeah, so I have something typical very pain for a few minutes and then it will get
Okay.
released. So
Okay.
and then
Okay. Fine.
similarly when I do some running and all the physical activities, I'll get lower back pain
Hmm.
at
Okay.
only one specific location.
Okay. Okay. So see, usually neck pain can be caused because of muscle weakness or the bone stress or damage on the nerve. So depending on what your damage is, how bad the nerve damage is, it can be either physiotherapy or there are multiple other options right now, which can be as in muscle releases. You also have a lot of injection therapies like steroid injections or stem cell and PRP injections, which can help you release the muscle if that is what your issue is or if it's a nerve problem. So if you do have a nerve pain or cervical spondylitis with a nerve with severe radiculopathy, in that case, please see your doctor and then you can start your physio. Uh, Doing any kind of stretches or anything with the nerve pain is always very risky and can actually aggravate the problem. So always make sure that you meet a physician nearby, and then you can start your physiotherapy according to that. I would always avoid any contact sports. So let's say basketball or football or any other sports. But doing swimming and for your neck, for your spine, swimming and yoga is something which I always suggest to people because it really helps align your spine and also release a lot of stress around your spine also. So that is something which you can start doing. But if you do have nerve pain, please, that's the right time where you need to meet your orthopedic surgeon or your neurologist.
Okay, but still like mild running or walking, is it advisable?
Yes. You can definitely do walking and all. You can also start doing some strengthening exercises. But if you do have nerve pain, always consult somebody and then start doing it. But so if it's only muscle pain and everything, you can definitely start doing some mild exercises. Start initially. Do not start everything in one shot because many people they see like, okay, I've been having pain, I need to start something, and they start doing, and that actually aggravates a lot. So just be careful and be mindful when you start doing any exercises. Do it for a week and then you can start with something new.
Okay. So if I'm not get recovered from this pain, if you want to consult you, like what is that should I do?
Sure. I will be sharing my contact number on the chat box. You can
Okay.
definitely get in touch with me. That's my contact number. I'll just send it right now. So if you have any doubts, you can definitely come. I'm from Chennai only, so you can definitely come and meet me directly.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Is there any other questions that I can answer?
So Sushant this side,
Any
sir.
question?
Yes, please.
Are you, Doctor, are you addressing any of these other chat questions, or is it
Yeah, I
all
think I've
complete?
taken most of them. Definitely, uh, yoga and asanas for fixing is also, as I said, if you don't have any spine issues, you can definitely start doing yoga and asanas. Uh, you can definitely. I always suggest doing more guided yogas because nowadays we do have a lot of online options, and many of them do come to us with back pain after starting yoga also. Not very common, but it is rare. It does happen because they've been very stiff with zero activity for a long time, and suddenly doing something when they start seeing it online can affect their spine. So always start with a trainer. Start with it can be either your yogas or your strength training or physiotherapy or even any exercises. Always do under some guidance initially until you get that confidence that you can do it on your own, and always avoiding any aggravating factors like phone, laptops, and all during the time of physio and everything is very important. Okay, this is a very interesting question by Ram K. Is disc degeneration reversible and what are precautions? Yes, so disc degeneration is currently in the past 10 to 15 years, degeneration is very reversible. The most common way to reverse it is rest, exercises, and then gradually changing your lifestyle. But now with advancements in stem cell therapies, PRP therapies, we are seeing a lot of people whose disc can be completely reversed, damage can be reversed without any surgery, with just very minimal injections and very minimal local therapies itself. It is very easily reversible and is showing very good promises. So we are looking in the future, maybe 10 to 15 years, where spine surgeries can actually reduce a lot. Even now, spine surgeries are actually reducing a lot because of a lot of advancement in stem cell therapies, especially for the spine and for the joints. We're seeing a major shift in the medical industry right now, where surgery number of surgeries are reducing compared to the not the standard therapies, but the injection therapies and all. A lot of orthobiological therapies are very promising, and it's helping a lot of people.
Sir, I have a question. Sushant this side, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir, how is the longevity? I mean, this is a very difficult question. How the longevity of the life can increase? What are the things that one should do so that he can live a longer life? And what is the, I think life expectation has increased to 80 years. That's what people would like to have in highlighting.
Yes. So the best way for longevity is there's only one way, sir. It's only exercise. Exercise in an Indian community or Indians is it also always feels like a burden. I see a lot of people who start exercising only they're 75 or 80 because they've always been either committed to their work or committed to their other things, either family or other activities. But the moment they reach 65, 70, they start taking care of the body that time, or they might be going through some medical issues. But exercise is something it is a daily routine. When you see people who are in Europe or even in any other countries, they walk on a regular basis. Exercise is something which they do on a that's a part of routine. They go do some sports or they do walking or they do some other exercise. Muscle wasting and muscle problems are one of the biggest problems right now because, as you said, the longevity is increasing. People are living up to 80, 85 now on because of advancement in antibiotics and other treatments, like cardiac treatments and all. So, but muscle is something which we cannot treat. It is something which has to be built. So exercise is the only way to live happier. And when you say longevity, doesn't mean living longer. It means living longer and living better. Living longer, I've seen many people who live in are been bedridden for 15, 20 years. They live till they're 1995, but it's a very bad lifestyle. They just been on bed or they've been going through hospitals. But longevity is something that is very important, where you have to live longer, but you live better. And that's the only way is exercise. Building your muscle, building your strength is the only way to live longer and healthier.
Is exercise meaning for the elderly people, do you suggest only the walking? Is it enough?
No,
Or,
so
because strenuous exercises, leading to more problems also, in the
mhm.
interest of strengthening your muscles, you are doing something. But, it leads to unnecessary consequences also. So, what would you suggest, sir?
Walking is a really good cardiovascular effort. So when you walk for at least half an hour, 45 minutes a day, you
Okay.
do take care of your heart, your lungs, and also your spine also. But side by side, doing some muscle training, strength training, many of them do start later. People who are doing earlier are much more different. But we see a lot of people who start strength training at 70 years of age. It is
Okay.
not easy to do it at 70, but you always have to start somewhere and never go. When you start at 70, always take it very slow. So when you start your strength training also, you have to start doing some weight exercises. Start with just 1 and 2 kg of weight is more than enough. Don't go completely like, okay, today I'm going to do cycling, running, swimming, this, that, everything. That is where you start straining your body a lot. So always start very slow. So if you've been doing walking half an hour a day, increase the walking for another 15 minutes in the evening and add a little bit of exercise in the morning or in the afternoons. Do that consistently for at least 2 to 3 months. Then you can add another exercise where you can start taking care of your back or your shoulder muscles. Start add that exercise into your routine, and gradually over 1 month or 2 months, you can slowly start increasing your exercises because your body also needs time to get used to the routine. And suddenly starting something is always going to be is going to affect your spine or even your whole body.
Oh. Sir, one more thing, apart from this exercise and other things, as needless to mention that, the nutritional food and other things, the diet also is essential, I suppose.
Definitely,
Could you
yes.
please throw some light on this? What sort of, how best we can either improve upon, strengthen the muscles and all that?
So to build better muscles and to build better strength, protein is something which in our Indian population, protein is something which is very sparsely used. We don't have too much of protein in our food. And even when people do take protein, it is pretty much concentrated maybe on 1 out of 3 meals in a day. So separating the protein on 3 meals a day is very important. Also adding fiber also. Our diet, Indian diet is very carb based. So reducing the carbs and increasing fiber and protein is very helpful for the nutrition part. If you are above 50 or 60, do not change your diet completely because that also can cause a lot of gastric issues. So always start very slow and start step by step. Definitely meet a nutritionist if you are having muscle issues or if you are overweight and if you are having some muscle uh, spasm or back pains. If you are changing your diet because once you're 50, 60, your body is used to a certain type of food and suddenly changing it can cause gastric issues or cause a lot of discomfort. So always make sure that you take your own time and don't suddenly change anything and do it step by step.
I think one
Sir,
more
which are
question I
protein?
could address
Sorry,
that.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Rao, please go, sir.
I think Mr. Rao has put up a question there. They suggested to keep moving your feet while sitting or keep the feet elevated. How does
Mhm.
this suggestion tie up with the rest of the ideas?
Moving your feet really doesn't help too much. Like many people have this nervous feet issue where they keep on moving their feet. That can help you burn a little bit of fat, but usually we say at least 1 hour, take a 2 to 3 minutes break where you can walk around. Many of the patients who say that they can't lose weight because they're sitting for a long time, I suggest them every 2 hours to take at least 4 to 5 flight of stairs because that will actually help them burn some fat and also reduce the inactivity level. So that is something which you can incorporate if you sit for longer duration, and that can actually help you with the stiff muscles and to raise your strain on your back, neck, spine, also your knee joint, hip joints also at the same time. Keeping your feet elevated, it's not really suggested to do that because what happens is the moment you use a small stool and you elevate your feet, even say around half a feet or 1 feet, that puts a lot of stress on your lower spine, especially around your sacral area. And you can also cause a lot of stress around your coccygeal region. And many of them do also cause of, I mean, suffer with pain or stiffness around the buttocks or gluteal region. So that is not really suggested, but you can, if you want to rest it out for some time, you can definitely elevate it for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. That's more than enough, but not on a regular basis.
Doctor, once in a while, is it okay to have this sort of a squat position, sitting on the chair, squat position? Does it help or improve the positions? That's what I sometimes I practice, but I'm not sure whether I'm doing the right thing or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean squatting on a stool, sir? That's what you mean?
On the chair as it is,
Okay.
because just to have a different posture, a different
Okay.
style. I don't know whether would that be useful or it has no relevance at all. It doesn't make any
Uh,
difference to me.
It's if it's going to be only 5 minutes for every 2 hours, it's fine. It's not a problem, but not
Okay.
on a longer basis. Like if you continuously sit on that position, many of them have this habit of squatting and sitting on the chair and all, which is okay if you have a bigger, wider chair, but smaller chairs can put a lot of stress around your joints also. So either you can sit like this on the floor or on the chair, on the bed should be more than enough.
Okay, that's good.
Sir, I
Thank
have
you,
a
sir.
question, Sushant this side.
Yes.
Sir, you said protein-rich food means people are now moving towards the tendency, the trajectory is moving towards a veg. But the non-veg which has the maximum content like the mutton, egg, or fish
Yes.
or chicken. So should we take intake and how much should be the intake in a day or in a week basis so that we live healthy?
An average adult around 35 to 45 years of age, we suggest them around 1 gram of protein per body weight. So if you're 60 grams, if you're 60 kgs, 60 grams of protein a day is more than sufficient. If you are above 60, above 55, 60, 0.8 to 1 gram is more than enough. But if you are somebody who's active, who's doing a lot of strength training and everything, 1.2 to 1.3 grams per kilogram of weight is ideal for yourself.
That you said in the gram of protein, but how much intake? 100 grams of chicken, mutton, or 50 grams
Oh,
or
like that.
200 grams
Okay.
in that way.
In
That will
that
be easy,
case,
sir, to understand.
yes, definitely. So, if you take breast chicken, it has around 32 to 34 grams of chicken per 100 grams. So in that case, you'll have to probably take if you're 60. It's each person's weight is different, so calculation has to be done according to that. But fish is if you're non-vegetarian, fish sources are really good. Chicken is also a very good source of thing, especially eggs also. Uh, usually we suggest not to have too much of red meat because that can cause fat problems, cardiac issues on a regular basis, maybe once or twice a month is fine because that also has a lot of iron. And but then other than that, usually these sources are really good. And if you are really you want to have a best balanced diet, either having 100 grams of chicken in the afternoon and substituting with some eggs in the morning and fish in the night is ideally the best. But at least having two meals where each meal has a protein intake of 25 to 30 grams is the best. So even having four
So,
egg
if
whites.
can we have yeah, pardon. Go ahead, sir.
Sir, last question. Adding to
Yeah.
this protein, but for specific nerve issues, as I said, have some reduction of L4 and L5 or nerve compression
Okay.
issues. Any specific diet for time being will you advise?
For nerve compression, there's no really specific diet, as in to reduce the strain. The only thing is we say not to have anything which can cause a lot of inflammation. And also, you have to make sure you drink a lot of water because the reason of nerve compression is the disc prolapse. And the disc loses its strength the moment the amount of water which you have in your body reduces or the stress on the spine increases. So, as you drink less water over years and years, the amount of water content in your body reduces. So your body takes water from the spines, from your bones, from your joints, especially from your discs. So people who drink a lot of water actually are clinically correlated that they do have a better disc rather than people who drink less water. So water is something that's very important for disc issues also. So hydration is something that's very important to reduce the disc problems. But diet-wise, there's nothing very specific, sir. Anti-inflammatory diet is enough, which should be fine, but there's no specific diet for to reduce nerve compression.
To improve the nerves, is that a way?
Yeah, so B12 diets, usually fruits and all helps a lot, but there's no direct correlation. There are a lot of people who
Mhm.
have a lot of different ideology about fruits and diet, which can help you with nerve regeneration and all. But any high vitamin B12, B6, high B vitamins food can actually help you, but it's still not very maybe in the early stages, but not once you have disc issues.
Okay.
Thank you,
One
doctor.
last
Thank you
question.
so much. I think in respect of
And last,
time, we'll have to conclude our
yes,
questions.
we are going to conclude.
Yeah. Yeah.
With one last question. Doctor, nowadays, this AI, Chat GPT, Gemini, and all that giving a lot of guidance. Similar to your guidance, can we rely on those guidance, what is being given? And, briefly, you can touch upon that. And, we are about to close the session today.
Okay, it's actually a very, very interesting question because 2 days back,
Yes, sir.
I had a patient who put up his reports, all his blood reports, all his scan reports, and everything on ChatGPT about a month ago. And beyond that, after he put the reports, he started getting a lot of
Yes.
ads which start coming, which is targeting specifically to that issue. And he started
Oh,
taking a lot of medications from there because it's all connected. And that actually caused a lot of issues. And he started having stomach problems, ulcer issues, and all these things. So AI is still very new. Do not
yeah.
trust, and especially in India, where we do have the facility to get out of the house, go and meet a doctor on the same day. Always take that option first. Maybe it can help you to understand a bit about your issue, or if you have any urgent problem where you need to check it, it's okay to check, but do not go behind the advice because many of
Completely
them
rely
are.
on that.
Yeah, please do not, because earlier we used to have a lot of misinformation from influencers or some nutritionist or somebody who has an Instagram page. Now it's AI. And in the past 6 months, we are seeing a lot of people who get suggested these kind of therapies or muscle problems and everything. And they start taking these because it's online, everything's on phone. It's easy to order and start consuming it, which is actually causing a lot of issues. We also have to battle with AI being as doctors now. So please be very careful.
Yes, yes, yes,
We are
yes.
still in the very early
And that's the
stages.
reason
So
I was asking. Yeah.
yes, we have an easy option over here. Maybe in other countries where they might take 2 to 3 weeks to meet a doctor and always go with trusted websites. I would not say don't go online. There are a lot of trusted websites, government websites, and a lot of doctors who have their own personal websites also, where the information is
Hello.
more accurate. So maybe you can search for those, but don't go for the AI overview where you find the moment you search on Google, you get AI overview. So that is something. And please do not put your reports on ChatGPT because there's
Hello.
a lot of information that